your neighbors and greet them in their worth and dignity. Welcome, everyone. I have a few announcements. First, let me introduce myself. If you're new or you've been coming during the summer during weeks I'm not usually here, I am the Reverend Bob Renjilian, the minister here for the Unitarian Universalists of Transylvania County. There's an echo sound booth. There is a deep, resonant, God-like echo in the room. This is what I want, but some people are complaining about that. That's so, yeah. So welcome. I will start with a sad announcement that we again have to cancel the CPR class. It was supposed to be today. There were just a handful of people who were signed up to take that to help us out around here, to have people on board in case there was an emergency. But we've lost our instructor, so we do not have a date for that. Also want to mention this Wednesday is Wonderful Wednesday. The sign-up sheet is on the counter. This will be the last Sunday to sign up for that so that they can prepare for the meal. Of course, you don't have to sign up. If you just want to come to the wonderful presentation, the Carl Sandburg presentation on Wednesday, if you want to come see that, experience that, you can come at 6:30 rather than 5:30 without having signed up at all. We also have the mountain retreat coming up on October 12th through the 14th. That's the Sunday, Monday, and then Tuesday through lunch for the Columbus Day weekend, Indigenous Peoples Weekend. We really need to have, if you're thinking of going, please sign up. If finances are holding you back from it, let me know, because we have financial assistance available to people who want to be part of our community. It's open to families, it's open to individuals, all ages. This retreat needs us. We need to bring at least like 22 people or something in order for them to assign their cafeteria crew. So considering we're getting to be a month out, they probably want to know whether they're signing people up. So please do. If you yourself cannot go online to the links that were in the Friday updates emails that you get, you can call into Tricia at the office and ask her to help assist you, or give you the phone number to call the mountain, and everything can work out. Thank you. September 11th, this week, the NAACP Faith in Action team, of which I am a part, is leading a discussion at the Mary C. Jenkins Center called Keeping Hope Alive, Talking with Our Neighbors in Hard Times. It'll be from 6 to 7:30, and we hope that you'll come join us and see if we can find hope together. Some of you are already involved or have been over the years with the UUTC Spiritual Explorers that meets on Thursday afternoons. People in here who have gone to those, go ahead and raise your hands. We have usually a circle here of maybe 20 people or more, and the book is out. Living a Committed Life by Lynn Twist. Finding Freedom and Fulfillment in Purpose Larger Than Yourself. And I've been reading that to get ready for Thursday. I don't usually get Thursday afternoons to do such a thing, but I will be for this book as much as I can. Campus Vision Review. Some of you may have noticed an announcement that on September 27th, 3 p.m., here at UUTC, we will have the council help us, or the property group help us understand the campus vision. Every once in a while, I note that the congregation bought that property next to us with the small houses back in 2017 with the intention of making our space a little bigger. So maybe Wonderful Wednesdays were not crammed into the tiny space we're in. Maybe for some of our staff members, we're not divided all over the place in odd little cubbies as offices. Maybe there's extra spaces for some of the meetings and community groups that want to have our space, including maybe upgrading our kitchen. We had a request in the community. They wanted to give cooking lessons to folks in the community so that they could have more affordable living rather than having to rely on prepared meals. But I had to say, we're not licensed for that. It's not a commercial kitchen. So maybe there are ways in which you can hear about the vision. Those of you who've been around for a few years will forget that you were in workshops that helped tell us what the vision would be, but you can be part of the conversation too on the 27th. I'm wearing a name tag, and I'm wearing it on the right side of my body, not because of any particular medical need for that, but because I figure if I shake somebody's hand, they can kind of look at my name tag and know who I am. But we had a member who explained to us that they had not read the fine print on the back of the name tag, and that magnets and pacemakers don't mix. And not to share the name of the person, but that person shared with me that their doctor wondered why from 10 to 11 every Sunday their pacemaker was giving erroneous signals. Oh, not here, not here. And if you would rather have a pin attached or some other clasp for yours, we can find a way to glue a pin on rather than using magnets. All right. Every once in a while, we'll announce that again. Those were some of the announcements of the many things we're doing. We're up and running. We're doing great. We have a lot of neat things going on. And Kevin, you're going to be leading children out today, back from summer, back in school. So many things, great things happening here. But let's go and let our spirits soar with the music from Scott and Karen bringing us into worship together.
Good morning. My name is Sharon Gublow. I'll be your worship associate for this morning. Our chalice lighting reading is by Janet Parsons, and we will be reading this in unison. The flame of our chalice this morning is a symbol of the warmth and brightness of our connections. The flame lights our way back together again from our separate summer lives, and it lights our way forward into this new church year of promise and renewal.
I see one note of joy left at our front table here for candles of joy and sorrow. I'll read that, and two that I have received in advance. This is from Heather Williams, a joy that the apartment I have been waiting for is now mine. Congratulations, Heather. And a candle of sorrow as we realize that Barbara Janowitz is no longer responsive to visitors, and our hearts go out to Barbara and all who know her, as we know an end will be coming. And a candle of joy that Eric Young is back among us after his medical procedure. I'm so glad to see you here. And let's light a candle for all those things not yet shared, held in the hearts of those who are here in the room, or maybe those online. Let's listen to each other in coffee hour or whenever we see each other and hear more about what's going on in our lives.
The opening words are by Erica Hewitt. The first three sentences are from Wild Geese by Mary Oliver. You do not have to be good. You do not have to walk on your knees for 100 miles through the desert repenting. You only have to let the soft animal of your body love what it loves. As we enter into worship, put away the pressures of the world that ask us to perform, to take up masks, to put on fronts. Silence the voices that ask you to be perfect. This is a community of compassion and welcoming. You do not have to do anything to earn the love contained within these walls. You do not have to be braver, smarter, stronger, better than you are in this moment to belong here with us. You only have to bring the gift of your body, no matter how able, your seeking mind, no matter how busy, your animal heart, no matter how broken. Bring all that you are and all that you love to this hour together. Let us worship together. Oh, our opening hymn is a round, 188. Come, come, whoever you are.
So this is because it's a round, we'll have 1, 2, 3, but we'll sing it through once. And I don't know if either of you would be glad to take a section and help lead. Maybe, do you know this one? Well, right. If it's pretty easy, but if you just want to, like 1, go, 2, go, 3, I'll be doing 3.
I can do one.
You can do one?
Yes.
Good. So you two over here, and I'm going to stand over here. And you want to do them? Okay. We made the beginning more complicated than the actual round. So we'll sing it through once all together. Doug and Catherine, there we go. Come, come, whoever lover of leaving. Ours is no caravan of despair. Come yet again, come. Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving. Ours is no caravan of despair. Come yet again, come. Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving. Ours is no caravan of despair.
Good morning. My name's Kevin, and I work with the kids and youth here at UUTC. And we're going to have our wisdom tale today. And our wisdom tale is called The Tale of Two Villagers and the Woven Tapestry. Well, a long time ago, in a land far, far away, there was a little village in a valley in between rolling hills, which is pretty much like we are here now. And in the village, there was all these villagers who were warm and encouraging and caring for one another. They lived together and they shared the bounty of their gardens. They shared the warmth of their hearts together. It was a great place. And in this village was a weaver named Elara. And Elara went about her business and did her weaving and was going, really doing well with all the other villagers. But in this village, there was also a newcomer named Finn. And Finn had come to this community trying to find a place to live and to be himself. But he really was feeling he didn't fit in, and he was shy and kind of withdrawn and not really part of the village. Well, one day the village decided they were going to make a great tapestry by every villager bringing a strand of thread from their home. It might have been out of a shirt or something lying around their house from a rag or something maybe very valued in their family, like a blanket that had been passed down generation to generation. Just a single thread per villager. Well, they started gathering all the threads together and started laying them out in the loom to weave together. It was really going to be pretty. But Finn started walking up, and he was carrying just a very simple thread, no real color in it. And he was wondering if he could contribute to the community with this thread. And Alaire was a little bit hesitant because it was dull, didn't have much color in it, not very much to offer really. But a village elder talked to Alaire and said, "Hey, this thread adds something to our community. Our tapestry in our community isn't better by just the colors of the thread, but by how they're woven together strongly and tightly together. And our community is better when we cast the doors open and welcome all in to one community together, not just saying you're valuable because you've been here a while, but you're valuable because you're here." So Alara guided Finn in and helped him to weave his thread in through the loom. And she put the thread next to a vibrant red thread to be together and next to a true blue thread. So together, as they wove these together, the red, the white, and the blue were together and very strong. And Finn saw how he was included and he was brought into the community. And he felt valuable and wonderful in it. And he started teaching people about new herbs and new plants that they could add to their gardens so that the taste of their food and everything they grew was much more vibrant and healthier together. And we need to remember we have to do this as a community, not only as Brevard, not only as Transylvania County, but as our whole country. The folks who might be a little bit newer to us here in this community, they offer something. Or maybe there are people here that have always been around here, but we never really noticed them. Maybe they have a different sexuality or a different identity. We welcome them, and all together we can be a better community. And we'd now like to ask Eli to come up with the children's chalice, and we'll light it and sing the kids out.
With you and our blessing, peace be with you and our blessing, peace be with you and our blessing, as you leave us now. I do not see our speaker for talking about Meals on Wheels. That's our new collection this week, but we'll have the slide up here. We can show you. When we have a brand new month starting out, we then change up our signs and slides to say that we're here for not just ourselves, but for the community. And we have voted on various organizations, and Meals on Wheels is one of those. And I remember during the pandemic going to help out with Meals on Wheels UTC volunteers who were delivering potted flowers along with their meals back during the pandemic to cheer up some folks. I noticed this week over at the Transylvania Regional Hospital a whole lot of mud in the parking lot where the Meals on Wheels meals are picked up because they're digging up and, I don't know, getting into a water main or something. And so our volunteers in our congregation, kind of like the Postal Service, have to get through everything to make everything work, pandemic or mud or whatever else. We support our community in many ways, and the envelope, no matter what the envelope says on it this week, maybe it didn't get changed over, it will be for Meals on Wheels if you put something in there. If you put something in the general plate for the baskets for our collection, it'll support the good work of our community here. We will now gratefully receive the morning offering. Thank you, Joanna. Thank you, Gypsy. What's given in love, we receive with great joy. Thank you. As we enter into this time of prayer and meditation, I want to let you know that some of the words included in this prayer are from Ma Teresa Tet Gasillo Gilard in the spring of 2019, when Reverend Tet was elected President Executive Minister of the Unitarian Universalist Church of the Philippines. She made history. Reverend Tet, as she likes to be known, whose election occurred on April 26, Lesbian Visibility Day, became the first out lesbian and first trans president in the church's history. She believes she may be the first out lesbian and first trans cleric in the non-Western world as of that date. Breaking new ground is a way of life for Reverend Tet, who's always worked to end oppression. And as a student leader in Manila in the post-Marcos years, she advocated for migrant workers and for labor and land reforms and for laws to reduce violence against women and children. It's nice to know something of the people whose words of value come into our service. So that's why I lift this up, and I thank Sharon Gublo, our worship associate this morning, for pointing out these words to me. Spirit of love and life, we who are gathered here this morning come with joys and sorrows in our hearts, with the knowledge that together we help carry one another in ways that enrich us in our lives, help us go from victims of circumstance to survivors, to those who find a place and a community in which to thrive. O Spirit of love and life, for this we are grateful, and may we ourselves be worthy to lend our own unique voices. The joys and the sorrows that we lift up in particular this morning in the glow of these candles include the wonder of finding our own space, our own place to live, and in this morning to know that this is the joy of Heather Williams. We also lift up the joy of seeing others among us who have come through medical procedures, and this morning in particular, we welcome Eric Young back into the embrace of this community. We are saddened as well about those who cannot any longer be with us in person, but whom we all consider still a part of our circle in our love, including Barbara Janowitz, as she is slipping from this life into whatever is next. In our prayers, in the words of my Philippines colleague, we cast not our eyes below. We say to ourselves that we are how we came, wounded from struggles, triumphant in our survival, entitled by birthright to belong to this, the only humankind there is, saying, I am included, I belong, I am here, and I will be and do. I will breathe joy into desolation. I will breathe peace into conflict. I will breathe life into destruction. I will be the earth I wish to see. I am growth and hope and glee. These and the prayers of our hearts and our minds we hold now in the silence. names of all those known and unknown, remembered and forgotten, in the names of all the helpers of humankind, we say, Amen, blessed be.
Keeping in the theme that Bob just introduced of belonging, it's a simple little song called That's Where I Belong. Show me a place where I don't have to worry. That's where I belong. Show me a place where I don't have to hurry. That's where I belong. And give me the time so I can change my mind, where it don't matter if I'm wrong. Show me the place where I don't have to worry. That's where I belong. Show me a place where I don't have to worry. That's where I belong. Show me a place where I don't have to hurry. That's where I belong. Give me the time so I can change my mind, where it don't matter if I'm wrong. Show me a place where I don't have to worry. That's where I belong. That's where I belong.
I'll lead you in a responsive reading next. We have by the Reverend Dr. David Breeden. The words will be on the screen. You'll see the minister line starts us, and then in the white, just below what I say, we'll all say together. Belonging is the warmth of a hand held out, the nod across the room that says, I see you. Belonging is not agreement, but the invitation to the table, the invitation to be whole. Belonging is a story that changes because you have arrived, the circle that widens because we are here. Belonging is the lilt in the song sung together, made more true because it holds your note. Belonging is a promise, not that you must become us, but that you are. Thank you. Got a couple books that I'm going to refer to from time to time in the sermon, and wanted to have them out so I could share with you when I get to it. The sermon today is saying, don't fit in here. Okay? Turn to the people next to you and say that. Don't fit in here. Don't fit in here. Don't fit in here. And you're going to say, okay, Reverend Bob, where's this going? All right. I am one of those people who's always trying to find ways of helping people find where they fit. But Unitarian Universalists went through an issue, I mean, it was going on 10 years ago, but I can't remember exactly when it became said out loud that saying to someone, well, yes, you're well qualified, but I don't quite think you will fit, was felt to be keeping folks out of leadership in Unitarian Universalist spaces, people who were maybe not looking like this. And you think 10 years ago, Unitarian Universalists were still somehow needing to be accused of not letting somebody other than this be expected to be president of the Unitarian Universalist Association or the leader of a district or something else like that. And people would hear folks who didn't look like this say, I went through the interviews. They liked all my skills. They liked my experience. They're glad I'm in this religion. But when it came to being hired from the job, somebody told me, well, I think you wouldn't quite fit. Everybody, we don't always get it right. And then we have folks who come from families, and we had a little discussion this week in a small group session that I was in of people who talked about their families not really giving them a whole lot of positive experience, to put it lightly. That in reality, in order to go out into the world, they needed to leave behind what kinds of ways their families acted towards them or insisted how they be in life, that they had to leave behind their fathers, their mothers, their clan in order to thrive in this world. It's interesting. You may know I'm in a prayer group and a study group with some of the leaders of local Brevard congregations, and weekly we go through what we're all considering in our ministries. And in the lectionary for this week, which Unitarian Universalists don't have a particular lectionary or use the lectionary, but we can. And this week there's something from Luke 14 that talks about that you should turn aside from your father and your mother, your families, in order to really take up religion. I mean, the language in Luke 14 is quite unusual for Jesus to be saying, you can't follow me unless you hate your father. It says that in there? Yeah. I mean, and some of you probably really would have loved to have turned to that page at some point, maybe even in your adolescence or on your father's grave site, and said, I'm following Jesus, I'm going to hate you. I don't know that it means it exactly that way, but I think in translating it, it's, I have to leave you. I have to leave what you are trying to enforce on me. I'm having to leave the way in which you disrespected that light. So that we come to the Middle Eastern wisdom of what we sang in the round this morning. Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving. Ours is no caravan of despair, come yet again, come. That we come to a space in which we can be ourselves. Now, we need community, and building belonging is our theme for this month and our Soul Matters packets that are out there. If you don't get a Soul Matters packet to study at home, go deeper spiritually with our subjects, to think about things, you can sign up with me, and I'll put you on the list every month to get the packet. But there were quotes in this packet. I'm going to read them all at once rather than spread them out in what I'm saying. One of them from Karina Antonopoulos, sounds Greek, Antonopoulos, is in charge of life coaching for highly sensitive and neurodivergent women and men. And somehow somebody picked up this quote from this coach. Where you belong is where you constantly choose to show up. That's where you belong. Where you constantly choose to show up, not where you're showing up. You may be enforced to show up at work. You may be enforced whenever you're with a certain group of people to go to certain places. But where you constantly choose to show up, that's where you belong. Brene Brown said, I was so shocked to learn that the opposite of belonging is fitting in. So now you're choosing where you're showing up, but now listen to Brene Brown. The opposite of belonging is fitting in, because fitting in is assessing a group of people and changing who you are. But true belonging never asks us to change who we are. It demands we be who we are. True belonging demands we be who we are. And Cole Arthur Riley has a quote that echoes that in the packet as well. Locate the kind of belonging that doesn't demand your erasure. Now, I think all of us, I'm speaking for myself, I wanted to fit in. I spent a good deal of my 20s trying to be nice. I failed. Because I thought if I was nice, I would be perfect life. I would fit in everywhere. I'd have friends. I'd have a girlfriend. I would do well at work. You know what? I got laid off at work. And most of the girls I went and dated said, well, Bob, you're a nice guy, but. And my friends, I realized, wanted me to be me. To jump in and say, that's not how I feel about things. I hear you feel this way, but I had to take some time in my 20s to realize that it wasn't about fitting in anymore. And I've told you the story of how I have rejected, not really, but I expanded from the religion of my childhood. I was a Unitarian Universalist as a kid. I was a Unitarian Universalist during an era of Unitarian Universalism in which the center message was a really good, strong foundation, and I respect it greatly, of atheistic humanism. One in which it didn't matter whether we believed in God when we woke up in the morning or prayed. What mattered was we knew right from wrong and we chose to do the right thing. And I thought, okay, yeah, but that's not enough for me. I watched the Star Wars movies. I want the Force. I went to Young Friends meetings with Quakers. I want to feel the Spirit. And so, I show up and say, I'm spiritual now. And they're like, I'm spiritual now. And the people say, well, you're still with us. You can be you and be with us. It's so annoying. But I'm showing that I'm independent of you. Yep, you are. And that was the deeper message, because at that time, the message that was written in what was the Unitarian Universalist principles was the supreme worth of every human personality. Now, we changed that to the inherent worth and dignity of every person, and we've changed it again. And I keep repeating how we keep transforming the way we talk about, but at the basis, if we get Unitarian Universalism right, we are, in fact, bringing our true selves into our communities. And if our communities cannot accept our true selves, even after we've tried one or two times to make them understand that's what the message of this place is, that we embrace the differences, then maybe that's not the right community for us to belong, because we need to be in the places that nurture us into wholeness. Now, that's one of the books I have here, Parker Palmer's A Hidden Wholeness. Parker Palmer talks about ways in which we have to find the communities that help us be true. Because according to author and educator Parker Palmer, when you hide your true self, you become separated from your own soul and end up living a painful, divided life. That's the big phrase for Parker Palmer, living a divided life. And this division creates a wall between your inner and outer worlds, causing you to conceal your identity out of fear. What does Parker Palmer write in here? A whole bunch. Get the whole book, but I'm going to try to pick out one. The journey towards inner truth is too taxing to be made solo. Lacking support, the solitary traveler soon becomes weary or fearful and is likely to quit the road. The path is too deeply hidden to be traveled without company. Finding our way involves clues that are subtle and sometimes misleading, requiring the kind of discernment that can happen only in dialogue. And the destination is too daunting to be achieved alone. We need community to find the courage to venture into alien lands to which the inner teacher may call us. So basically, and he says it in there, you can't just do this by sitting alone. Having your alone time is important to knowing who you are, but it's in finding a community in which you belong, even as you don't fit in, where you belong, that helps nurture you out of that sense of fear. Oh, I don't want to show myself. Actually, here, I think I could, to hear from people around you saying, oh, I'm seeing this. Oh, I'm worried about you. Oh, tell me more. Being in such a place means building that community even as we are gaining from it. You know, we had Mary Oliver's words. We've had the sense in our own lives of finding a place, these are my people coming into this space. But I don't want you to fit in. I want you to find your way, as Parker Palmer was saying, to be you. You come here, and hopefully we can help you be you. You leave behind your clan, your other spaces that tried to define or restrict who you are, and hopefully you are here for what our mission says, for your spiritual development, for your wholeness, and your paths in life. And we come from many different paths to be truly you in a way that doesn't fit in. You'll find allies here, but you may not find anyone exactly like you, and that's okay. I like the parable that Kevin found. It goes with this, of weaving your own strand into the whole. That we don't all have to be the fancy colors that you see around you. Oh, that person, whoa, that person. But when each of us together is part of the weave, we then help separate and enhance that beautiful collection, colors next to each other. I don't know, folks, but I do believe that even in the midst of all the fear and the turmoil in our community, that we can, in fact, be one of those spaces that Parker Palmer wants us to be in. Or what was referred to in the words of the other people's wisdom that we heard from. Or what Jesus was trying to say, probably not translated right, about leaving behind those who had raised us in order to be ourselves on our path. Let's see if we can. I'm hoping that we are, in fact, not that you must become us here, but that you already are, as our responsive reading ended. Thank you for listening. Now, if you all go home and tell your neighbors, our minister said, don't fit in here, and you don't explain all the rest, I think we're going to have a really small new member class. But if you get the whole picture, I think that would be great. Thank you. We have a closing hymn, which happens to be one of the favorites of this congregation, Blue Boat Home. Oh, below me I feel no motion, standing on these mountains and plains, far away from the rolling ocean, still my dry land heart can say, I've been sailing all my life now, never harbor or port have I known. The wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue boat home. Sun my sail and moon my rudder, as I ply the starry sea, leaning over the edge in wonder, casting questions into the deep, drifting here with my ship's companions, all we kindred pilgrim souls, making our way by the lights of the heavens in a beautiful blue boat home. I give thanks to the waves upholding me, hail the great winds urging me on, greet the infinite sea before me, sing the sky my sailor's song. I was born upon the fathoms, never harbor or port have I known. The wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue boat home. The benediction is again from the words of Ma Teresa Tet Castillo Gallardo, from what she wrote, There's My Temple. And these are excerpts from that. How shall we divide the world but by our breaths? We have no covenant among us but mutual assistance. We insist on no assumptions and doubt moral facts. We are free to theorize with emotion and call it hope. We have no dwarfs or giants. Goliath fell long ago. We have no seal on revelation. Tentative is truth. Lead by your desires, serve by your power, funny, temperamental, shy, or wise, you are welcome. There is not one way of being human, not even Superman. We have no world, but that which we create together. There is as much wisdom in harmony as in dissent. Go forth with love and return again with joy to this place.